Hey fam, happy Sunday, welcome back. So listen, as the title states, right? Why do we only view life insurance as a funeral thing? Why do we only view life insurance as something to cover just funeral, right? And the reason why I brought this up is this. Right now in America, right, we have a wealth gap situation going on right now in America, right? And let me just go over some numbers with you guys, right? Because you guys know, if I'm gonna speak about something, right, I want to bring you guys the actual facts of what's really going on, right? So right now in America, right, in the African American community, right, okay, the average median wealth in the African American community is a whopping $24,520 in the African American community right now. Okay, now why is that important? Because I've been doing this now for about 15 plus years, right? And typically, the most annoying thing when I go into our community, right? Okay, we are for some reason are always looking for the lesser coverage. We are always looking for just enough, right, to take care of funeral expenses, right? And I walk in, I'm looking, I see children running around. I walk in and I look, I'm seeing a $500,000 home, 400K home. I walk in, I see a spouse. Okay? So it bothers me sometimes when on the average, right? On the average, right? When I go into our community, it's typically about $100,000 coverage on the average. Okay? Now, let me share this with you. In a white household, the average median wealth in a white household is $250,000 in the white household. That is the median wealth. That is 10 times the wealth. Okay? Now, to me, a lot of this has to do with wealth transfer, which means typically when somebody passes away in a white community, they're transferring a massive amount of money over to their family, right? And on the average, they're carrying well over $250K to a $500,000 life insurance policy, while we're carrying $50K to $100,000. Okay, so because our mindset as to how we view life insurance is just so backwards. We view life insurance as a burial thing. They view life insurance as a wealth transfer. And this data is actually from LIMRA. Okay, this is from LIMRA because they take data based on insurance coverages. Okay, so this is not something that's just made up. This is from LIMRA. So you guys actually have access to this, right? Right? On top of this too, right? And on this same article, right? Check this. 68% of African Americans, okay, believe that the only reason why they own life insurance is to cover final expense and funeral. 68% believe that is the reason for life insurance. So no wonder there's a wealth gap disparity going on with us in our community, right? Check this out. The average African American carry majority of their life insurance through the job. Why is that important? The problem is that is this. When you leave your job, most job you are not allowed to take it with you. Even if you are allowed to take the insurance with you, what happens is now you come out of a group plan to a individual plan based on your age at that time, and the premium is really gonna skyrocket. Okay. On top of that, too, the death benefits start to dwindle down over time. About 2 weeks ago, I was sitting with a client of mine whose parent passed away, right? Father passed away, right? And the only insurance the dad had was insurance that he had at the job. Then once he passed away, okay, I believe the coverage that went to the family was roughly about 12,000, because he had a big amount when he was working, but once he retired, that insurance amount started to dwindle down, and this man passed away in his 90s. Okay, so these are really important things that we actually need to consider, right? Also, too, the same article, right? They asked or surveyed quite a few African American families, right? And they're asking the reason why they don't have life insurance. And a lot of them, a massive 50% plus of them, said they believe it's too expensive. So these group are the one who don't have life insurance because they believe that it's too expensive. So when we talk about a wealth disparity, right, between a particular group of people and us, I think a lot of it has to do with personal responsibility, right? I speak a lot about, I think a lot of us spend our money very unwisely, okay? If you tell me that life insurance is too expensive, but then you're taking 4 to 5 trips a year, okay? Okay? Brunch every Sunday. Happy hour every Friday. Clubs and lounges every weekend. And the list goes on and on and on, right? But you say life insurance is too expensive. So what you're essentially saying is that all those things are more valuable than your family. It's essentially what you're saying. All those things are more important to me than for me passing on generational wealth. So I personally believe that personal responsibility has a huge factor in the reason why there's such a wealth gap, to be honest with you. If we start to act more wisely, is that a word? Yeah. If we start to act more wise, with our money and how we spend it. Because a lot of us make good money. A lot of us make good money. But I think it is spent in other places that is not going to bring the results that we're looking for over time. All right? So listen, I don't want to make this a long conversation, but it's just something that I believe that we need to start to really, really think about. Okay? Like the average, let's take a 35-year-old, right? A 500K policy for a healthy 35-year-old, right? Could be roughly about maybe $80. Okay? That's $20 a week. $20 a week. And the article states that 50% of our community believe life insurance is too expensive. But $20 a week to have 500K in coverage to make sure that, God forbid, something happens to you, your children are going to be okay. Your spouse is going to be okay. The asset, your mortgage that you have, can still be intact, and your family can have a roof over their head when you're no longer here. Do you truly believe that $80 is not worth it? I don't think so. But I think a lot of it is that we spend our money very unwise. All right? Hey, listen, if you guys want to sit down and go over some numbers personally for yourself, go over a quote to see how we can benefit you. If you're walking around here without any life insurance, if you're walking around here with inadequate life insurance, message me. Let's sit down and talk, and let's see how we can be of service to you and your family. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed Sunday.